Am I the a-hole? I told my daughter she can live with me with this condition. I 34 male, had a child 10 years ago. Nova, 10. I was a terrible person back then. I didn't stay in her life and I deeply regret it. A few months ago I contacted her mom to see if I can see my child. She happily agreed to co-parent with me and seemed relieved, which was understandable considering she had 4 other kids, all younger than Nova. Nova was a bit distant at first but now we are doing better. She is generally a very good kid, but something I realized about her is that no punishment seems to work on her, and also she can be very disrespectful at times. If I tell her to do something as a punishment she won't do it, or if I ground her she will just leave without my permission. I asked her mom how she punishes her and she said she has never punished her before. What I've heard from Nova is that it seems like she would just cuss her out and yell at her, which I don't think are good punishments for a kid. 2 nights ago Nova asked me if she can live with me from now on. I told her I'd love it, but she can live with me with one condition. She has to follow my rules and be respectful. She didn't say anything after that. After she went back to her mom's home, my mom, who was there when Nova asked me this, told me I was an a-hole because if a kid is asking her deadbeat dad to take her in, there must be something very wrong, so you don't make conditions for her, you just say yes and take her in. Was I really wrong to have this condition? I can't be a parent if she doesn't listen to me, but now both my mom and daughter refuse to talk to me. Her mom will likely have no problem with this. She seems too busy with her other kids and I think she would like being the weekend's fun parent, so that's not really a problem. Oh gosh, you're the a-hole. I think you're trying to do what you think is best, but I agree with your mum. Your 10-year-old daughter living with you shouldn't be conditional. If it works for everyone, you say yes. Then work on communication and discipline. You're not the only one who has to learn. She does too. If she had no discipline whatsoever, she'll be stepping into a whole different world and it might be difficult to adjust. She's just a kid who hasn't had the best or fairest life by the sounds of things. You possibly hurt her and let her down thinking that's all you care about and just don't want trouble. I agree, but OP, please take parenting classes. Kids need structure and limits, but they don't need constant punishments. You've been a parent for a few months and, with all due respect, you have no idea what you're doing. None of us do. But most of us have 10 years of practice before having to parent a 10-year-old. Read some books. Sign up for a class, please. Just remember, social sciences have come a long way from where they were when our parents raised us. I recommend child psychology audiobooks in the car. It's fascinating and will save you so much energy and grief. You're the a-hole. Big time. Your love for her has been conditional and continues to be conditional. She needs attachment to her parent, someone she can trust. What you should have done is talk to her mother, then take her in and find professional help and guidance for both of you, telling your daughter it will be alright, whatever happens, that you want her, even if she is not perfect. I totally understand why she is acting up and testing you. She has now learned that she can only be accepted if she behaves exactly like you want her to, which is not a great basis to have, especially as a girl. She is living in 2 very different environments where she is expected to be 2 different kids. It's hard. Help her. Am I the a-hole for being mad that my dad brung his husband on our family trip? Female 15. My dad 54 male, is married to Jacob 50 male. And to be honest, I don't like Jacob as he just annoys me. I don't know if they intentionally do what they do or if they don't even realize they're doing it, but either way it pisses me off, which is why I dislike Jacob very much. I can never get alone time with just my mom and my dad without Jacob being there. And I've specifically say all the time that I just want my dad and mom there, but it doesn't even matter to them because Jacob turns up either way. And yes, I've communicated with them about this, but it's like they don't even listen. Anyways, yesterday was supposed to be only me, my mom, and my dad going to her amusement park, but also my half-sister, 3 female, my mom's daughter. I told my dad and Jacob that I didn't want Jacob there, but guess what, he turned up anyways. Also, this event was for me and it wasn't an event that was for the whole family. It was for me, and I wanted my sister, my mom, and my dad to be there only. I was maddened when Jacob turned up, so instead of letting it go like I normally do, I lashed out at my dad and Jacob for Jacob being there. I told my dad that Jacob didn't always need to come along and that he needed to stop bringing Jacob to my events that I specifically said I didn't want him to attend. My dad was poised and Jacob started crying, which only made me more mad. Jacob is a grown man and I talked to him about this as well, so it's not like he was just clueless to the whole thing. so I didn't understand why he was crying, and maybe I was a bit harsh when I lashed out, but that because I've been gentle with this many times and I was just done with being gentle with them, so I lashed out. Now to mention my mom is the one paying for all this, so she was also mad that Jacob turned up when he wasn't supposed to be there. I never see my dad without Jacob being there, and it just gets so tiring when you can't even talk to your dad alone with his wife being there. My mom and family are completely on my side, but my dad and Jacob are mad at me. So am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. And I'm confused at some of the replies here. Original poster is still a kid and can't get 5 minutes of alone time with her dad. She's vocalized the concern multiple times and it sounds like he doesn't really care. Granted, I'm sure there's more to this story, but with the provided context, dad sounds like the a-hole here. Hopping on the top comment to provide a summary, since it's clear a lot of y'all didn't read OP's comments or the post. Really, OP's mom planned this day out and paid for it. She is married, but her husband stayed home. OP's mom wasn't expecting Jacob to tag along either. She was rightfully angry since she was paying. OP's mom had planned this outing as a celebration for the OP. OP did not go into detail, but said she'd been through something recently and is now doing better. OP requested that her parents leave their spouses at home. Her mom complied. Her dad did not. OP has expressed many times that she'd like alone time with her dad. Jacob doesn't allow this, even when OP visits their home. OP does not appear to be under the delusion that her parents are going to get back together. She gets along with her mom's spouse fine. OP's parents have a good co-parenting relationship, they get along fine also. Not the a-hole. OP, you repeatedly tried to handle this in a mature way, but Jacob doesn't understand boundaries. Apparently, your dad needs to step up before he loses you entirely. Thank you for gathering that info. A lot of people don't read the OP's comments, or don't know how to find them via their profile. Even without further reading, I could practically hear her desperation for a connection with her father. Fathers can have a crucial role in what a young woman will expect from future relationships, and it's heartbreaking that he's setting the bar so damn low. I don't care how old the daughter is, no matter the age. Many women's hearts are forever etched with the memory of being that little girl who thought dad could slay any monster and move any mountain. She deserves better. Edit, OP, I know it may not feel like it, but your dad's choice has nothing to do with you being a good enough daughter. You've done nothing to cause or deserve the way he keeps putting your needs after Jacob's. Your dad is being incredibly selfish by refusing to build healthy boundaries. Many parents would kill to have their teen actually want to spend time with them. Am I the a-hole for telling my mom? A lot of people will feel the same as me about my stepsister because not everyone will love her. My mom married her husband when I was 12. He had a 2-year-old daughter at the time who had no mom, so my mom fell madly for her as well and considers this kid her child too. I never had anything against her back then, but I won't pretend I started caring about her all that much either, or that I saw her as my sister. My mom and her husband spoil her rotten and have allowed her to become a very demanding kid. She will tell people what to do and will scream if you don't follow what she wants. This started when she was like 4 and has gotten worse in the last 4 years. She will demand someone play tea parties with her, and if they say no, screams at the top of her lungs at you. She tells you to put something on TV, and if you don't, same response with the screaming, wants a piggyback ride and is told no, screaming oh so loud at the park and wants to be the only one on the slide. Screams. She's had several notes sent home from school with complaints about this. My mom and her husband even got called in at the end of this past school year to talk about how they feel she needs to mature and have this behavior nipped in the bud. I find her so annoying that I do my best to avoid her now, which is easier since I moved out. Not too long ago my mom was asking if I would be coming home on weekends when my training starts, and I told her I probably wouldn't. She asked why and I said because I was busy. She suggested they could come and stay with me for a weekend. I told her not to. She asked me why. I told her I didn't want her stepdaughter in my apartment. She told me she's my little sister and misses me and I should spend some time with her. I said nah, and pointed out her behavior. She told me how wrong it was to feel that way about her, and I said I'm not the only one, and I won't be. I told her the difference is she and her husband love her, but not everyone will, and then her behavior will just keep getting doors shut in her face. As it is, she had several birthday party invites rescinded from January to May this year. My mom told me saying I don't love her is awful and that I have known her most of her life, and she has adored me since day one. She said she was ashamed of how cold I could be to the kid. I don't think she really gets it, but maybe she's right. Am I the a-hole? You are not the a-hole. Your mom and stepdad are being really short-sighted. No one is going to want to be around your stepsister, and it's all their fault. Yup, stepsister's behavior is obviously horrible, but OP's mom and stepdad are the real a-holes here. Not the a Hole. I don't understand how people think others are horrible for genuinely not wanting to be around poorly behaved kids, or kids at all. They are raising a brat. Plain and simple. If my math's right, and I didn't miss something, she should be 8. By now she should be able to accept no as an answer. If it continues, she's going to have a heck of a time in the next few years. Not the A-hole. Your mother decided to marry her husband and take on the responsibility of being a mother to his child. That responsibility does not automatically fall on you to be a sister to her. That is your choice to make, not anyone else's. If they are going to raise a spoiled brat, then they need to be prepared for people not liking her.